What's up, YouTube? It's NG, and I'm back. And today I'm into the Galaxy Z Flip. Now, I'm sure you guys know this is the newest foldable phone from Samsung. It was released February 14th on Sprint, AT&T in the US, as well as Unlocked. Now, from what I read, it was sold out most places within a few hours. I put my order in online via Sprint because they had the purple one, and lo and behold, it took about a week, 5 days. I think I got this Wednesday, but it did get to me. So hey, here I get to play with the Galaxy Z Flip. Now, I've been using this phone for just under 24 hours. And this is just a first impressions of what it is to hold or use the newest foldable on the block. First off, I'd like to talk about the body itself. It's good. It's really light, much lighter than you would think it is, especially when it's folded. This shape here just looks like it would be somewhat heavy, but you know what? It's not that weighty at all. The hinge itself is extremely firm, a lot more firm than the fold. I would actually compare it right on screen, but I'm actually using my fold to record this right now. But the hinge itself is really strong. It's not as loose as the fold at all. As you can see, you can bend it and it will retain its shape, unlike the fold, which would wobble around. This is because this phone has something they called a I forgot what it's called, flip mode or something like that. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. But it allows for the UI to adjust the actual phone itself. As you can see here, the best picture, I guess, is in the I took a picture photos mode. Let's just do this. You see how the picture itself kind of bleeds to the bottom? When you fold it, it just goes right to the top, just like that. And then when you fold it back out, you see it goes back to the bottom. When you fold it again, the whole thing just kind of transforms, and it gives you the controls at the bottom of the phone. Let's say you want to record, or you're taking a selfie, or a group shot, or whatever the case might be, and it gives you the visual area at the top of the phone. Now, a lot of the apps have this little feature to it, and it does come in handy. I used it last night when I went down to my mother's house and took some pictures and such. What else can I say about this? I'd have to say, of the new releases that Samsung is bringing to the table this year, this is probably the most interesting one. I played with the S20, all three of them, and I finally got to play with this. And this is by far, I won't say the best of them, but the most unique of them. This is one that stands out the most, as I'm sure most of you all already know. A few reviewers that I've seen who have talked about the phone, again, they're on the don't buy it train. Same thing they said about the fold when it came out. But I'm happy to see that a lot of people aren't really taking what these YouTubers have to say to heart, because if the headlines have been true, this phone has sold out so far twice, not only in its homeland of Korea, but also here in the US. I heard it was going to be restocked today. So if you are in the market for it, you should be able to get one if you go to a store or whatnot, preferably the Samsung Experience store, because I heard that they had a few there. But again, using this phone for the first few hours, I definitely haven't got to dive or delve into all of the little nuances that make it unique. But I have seen things that I've liked, and I'm not sure if this is attributed to Google 10 or Android 10 with One UI 2.1 running on this, because there are a few features on this that are not on my Fold. But as we know, my Fold hasn't been updated since last August. I think it's August. No updates, no anything. This one, as far as UI is concerned, is way more advanced than the Fold, and that's saying something. There are a few little things there, like you're able to sync the number of this phone to any other Samsung device that you may have, and your other devices will ring with this phone number. That would come in very handy because I have multiple devices, and 3 or 4 of them are, perhaps more, are Samsung devices. So instead of having 3-4 separate phone numbers, if I can link all of my Samsung devices to my one number, that would be a great help. Now, I don't particularly want the Fold number as the Flip number as my main number. I'd much rather my Note 10, as you know, that's my Note 8. I'm sorry, that's my primary device. I much rather have that number synced to the Flip and the Fold and my Gear S3. So when that rings, everything else rings. Everything else gets text. So no matter what phone I have on hand, I'll be able to get the notification or the call. But that was a cool little thing I saw in the settings of this phone. Another thing that came in handy is this right here. When it's closed, you can press the power button twice, and you get your little camera. As you can see, there it is. You get your little camera there. Now, I think this an update dropped when I got it, because people were saying you were not able to change to the wide angle, and though both cameras are right here, you were forced to have the close-up angle. But if you just tap the screen, you switch to the wide angle. So I'm guessing that is a recent software update that came. When I did turn on the phone, it did do some updates, but I found that very useful. Yes, you can't see much in the viewfinder here. You can't really line up your shots how you would with a regular phone, say my Fold, which has a much larger screen on the outside, but it's doable, it's usable, and it's unique in its approach. They don't really want you to use the phone closed, but if you do have to, just want to take a quick picture, it's easy to launch and it's easy to take the picture. You just press the volume button and boom, you take your picture, and you press the power button, it all turns off again. I thought that was a very neat feat, very nice feature. Also on this little screen here, as you can see your time, you can see your notifications. If I don't have any, oh sorry, oh yeah I do. Yeah, you see your notifications. If I had a text or something like that, it would scroll across the screen like a little ticker of sorts. I love the V10 and the V20 when they had the little ticker screen up top. All of your notifications would just scroll across there, so you could read them really quickly. So that is a cool feature. Also, probably the best thing about that little screen there, aside from the camera itself, is you're able to control your music. Yeah, kind of hard to do it from this angle. Can't really see the screen. I think that there is the best thing. Just throw out the phone, not the whole screen. You have your controls for your music, and I do love music. I have been using that a lot. Just pull it out, bam, 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 change song, change track, and you're good. So there is some use to the little screen there. A lot of people have complained about it, but I think you have to make it work for you instead of complaining that it doesn't work how other devices might work. And that is to say, people are comparing it to the Motorola Razr 2019. Now, with that one, I got to play with that too. And yeah, it's a foldable phone, but it's nowhere on the level of quality of this one. The screen feels like plastic. Not to say that the fold screen doesn't feel like plastic, but it just feels different. Maybe it's the way the hinge works and how the plastic screen goes around the hinge so that there's no gap, but it feels different when you were touching that phone. Way more what's the word here? Flimsy, less durable than the Fold, and definitely less durable than the Z Flip. You all know that the Z Flip has a bendable glass screen. Now, I don't know how durable it is, because I treat this like I treat my Fold. My Fold has no issues with the screen, and that's a plastic screen. But I must say that this actually feels like glass, as opposed to a plastic cover like the Fold does. So I'm here, it's a very thin glass with a plastic cover over it, and the main thing that it does is it's not really it's not from a durability standpoint, it's more of how it feels when you interact with your screen. It feels much more like a regular phone, as opposed to the plastic film of the Razr and what some people thought the Fold felt like. What else? There's no headphone jack, so that was a bummer. It did come with, or it does come with, USB-C headphones, but they're trash. I don't really like to say negative things about phones and what they may or may not come with, but Samsung could have done a much better job with the headphones that they packed in with this phone. They're USB-C, apparently tuned by AKG, but they sound terrible. I threw in my 24-bit dongle from my Razr phone, doing a regular pair of headphones, and it changed the sound completely. So if you do get this phone, don't bother with the headphones. The mid-range is terrible. The low end is almost non-existent. Really bad sounding headphones. And I'm pretty sure they could have put a headphone jack at the bottom of this. They simply chose not to, because that is the trend that they are going with. They want you to buy their Galaxy Buds. I do have a pair of them. I'm actually wearing them now, but I do prefer better quality sound, which is why I do have the dongle, and I carry my wired headphones wherever I go. I was excited to try the wired headphones that came with this, and they disappointed me. Thank goodness the phone itself has not. Now the phone is a $1,400 phone, and yes, you can get other phones for much less. They won't fold, but in this aspect, the $1,400 I think is a little bit of a stretch. The phone really does feel like an S10. Not the S10, it feels like a really nice S10 that can fold. It does have a few little features that have it stand out from the S10 line, but now that I've used it, I've got to play with it a little, I can honestly say that it's an S10 that folds, or an S10 Plus that folds. Had a little bit more power, a few more gimmicks, as they might say, but that's pretty much what it is. So you really, if you were looking at something like this, you really have to ask yourself, do you want this phone, the Razr phone, the Galaxy Fold, or the S10 Ultra, which is due to debut March 6th. Because if you look right, they're all pretty much around the same price. This is $1,400. You can get a renewed Fold for $1,400. The Razr is $1,500, and the S20 Ultra, arguably the most powerful of the bunch, is $1,500. Actually, no, $1,400. So actually, it goes up to $1,600 if you get the 1 terabyte spec version. But yeah, if you're not looking just at price, this phone is a unique phone to buy. It will stand out. It will cause a conversation when they see you just on the phone. My brother saw it and he was like, wow. My friends saw it, my mother, they all love the design, they love the color. I'm partial to purple, but of course I had to try to get the purple one. And that's what this phone is for. That's what you're actually paying for. You can get much better spec phones at a much lower price point if you look on Amazon and eBay. Like I said, last year's top end phones, which is pretty much the specs of this phone, are considerably less. But you aren't buying this phone for power. You're buying this phone to make a statement that you are into the foldable thing. You're on the cutting edge of tech, and that's where you want to be. It's not so much how much your phone can do, but it's more what the phone is doing for you from a social standpoint. This is not the best camera. It's not the best screen. It's not the best audio, but it is a good phone. This for a 2020 phone, it's on par with a somewhat high-end 2019 phone. You do have the cameras. I mean, they are comparable to the S10. From what I understand, they are the S10 cameras, but I think the S10 had 3. This one only has 2. I think the S10 had the telephoto lens. This one only has the regular lens and the wide angle. But it's fine, because for what it is useful. You won't be upset with this phone. It worked, and it works great. Yeah, but like I said, this is just a quick, not a review, just my thoughts on the Galaxy Z Flip so far. I haven't got to use it much. I've had it out and about today doing a few things. I finally set up my Facebook and Samsung Pay and all that. So I'm trying to get into the groove of using this phone as a primary device. I mean, it's alongside my other two, but you know what? I really want to get the feel for this phone, because I plan on keeping this phone. I think my wife might really like it, but I do want to put it through its paces first, and then decide if it's something I want to add to my collection, or perhaps give to her. I don't really know. But for now, that's just a quick overview of the Galaxy Z Flip, and what I've done so far, what I've learned so far. This is NG, and the Galaxy Z Flip. This is what I'm into.